Dear children, today we will start with the topic acceleration due to gravity. It is represented by small g. You know that it is the acceleration experienced by a body falling freely towards the earth. You already studied this one. When the body is falling freely towards the earth, then the acceleration of that body, that is known as the acceleration due to gravity, and it is a constant value. It is represented by the letter small g. Then what is the relation between acceleration due to gravity and gravitational constant capital G? So for that you consider a body of mass m at a distance small r from the center of the earth. Okay, small r from the center of the earth, having mass capital M. Thus, the mass of the earth is capital M. Then you know that according to Newton's law of gravitation, the force between the earth and the body is written as F equal to G into capital M small m divided by the distance between them, r square. It is Gm1 m2 by r square. Then what is the force acting on mass m? That is equal to what? F equal to mg. The force acting on the mass m, that is the weight of the body, that is equal to mg. Equation number 1 and equation number 2. Then equate these two equations. Okay, these two equations are equal, so we can equate these two equations, that is mg equal to gmm by r square. Then m and m we can cancel, then small g equal to gm by r square. So this is the acceleration due to gravity in terms of capital M, mass of the earth, and the square of the distance between them. And g and the r is inversely proportional to each other. So r increases, g decreases. So if r equal to capital R, that is small r equal to capital R is the radius of the earth. Okay, capital R is the radius of the earth. So small r is equal to capital R, then the body is on the surface of the earth. The small r is equal to radius of the earth, then this body is on the surface of the earth. So that time we can write g equal to g m by capital R square. So when you substitute the mass of the earth, gravitational constant g, and the radius of the earth, we get the value of g, that is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. This is the acceleration due to gravity when the object is on the surface of the earth. Okay. So according to the above equation, you understand that g varies from place to place depending on the height or the depth of the place. That is, g is inversely proportional to r square. So if the body is at a height h from the surface of the earth, then we can find out the g at that place. G at a height h from the surface of the earth, gh equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. This is the equation. So g decreases as the h increases, because here 1 minus 2h by r. So you already studied that when the r increases, small r increases, then g decreases. So height increases, g decreases. Then what is the, how will you calculate the g? G at a depth. Okay, how will you calculate the g at a depth from the surface of the earth? That is gd equal to g into 1 minus d by r. So this is the equation for the g at a depth, gd equal to g into 1 minus d by r. So here also when the depth increases, g decreases. So height increases, g decreases, and depth increases, g decreases. So it represents that g varies from place to place depending on the height or depth of the place. Okay. Gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy of a body is the energy associated with the body due to its position in the gravitational field of another body and is measured by the amount of work done in bringing a body from infinity to a given point in the gravitational field of the other. So, when the body lies at infinity, so the work done in bringing the body from infinity to the gravitational field of the earth, that work done is stored in the form of gravitational potential energy. So, here you want to find out the expression for gravitational potential energy. So, for that we can consider the earth of mass m, okay, and radius capital R. Radius capital R. Then we should consider a body of mass m at a point P. Okay, we should consider a body of mass m at a point P, that is at a distance r from the center of the earth. The body is at a distance r from the center of the earth, where small r is greater than this capital R. Then at a particular instant, if the body is at a point A, okay, the body is at a point A, then the distance of the body from the center of the earth is x. If the body is at a point A, then the distance from the center of the earth is x. So, the gravitational force of attraction between the body and the earth, that is noted as F equal to G capital M, then mass of the body, that is small m, divided by the distance between the body and the earth, that is the x, Gmm by x square. Suppose the body moves through a distance dx from A to B. Suppose the body moves through a distance dx from A to B, then what is the work done to bring the body from A to B? That is dw equal to F into the distance moved, that is dx. So, that is equal to F is Gmm by x square into dx. The force between the body and the earth is not constant, so it is variable one. So, the work done in between them is also, that means it is also different. So, to calculate the total work done from infinity, that means to bring the body from infinity to the point B, we should apply the integration. Okay. So, the total work done is equal to integral dw, because the force is not constant. So, the work done, to calculate the total work done, we should integrate the small work done dw from where to where, from infinity to the point P, that is infinity, that is the infinity means it is at a distance, the body is at a distance infinity from the center of the earth, and to the point P it is at a distance smaller from the center of the earth. So, you should apply the integration from infinity to r. Then we will get the total work done, and it is stored in the form of potential energy. So, we can substitute the dw, that is infinity to r, that is Gmm by x square dx. Then take the Gmm outside, then apply the integration infinity to r square r, okay, infinity to r, x raised to minus 2 dx. Then change the integration, that is Gmm into square bracket x raised to minus 1 by minus 1 within the limit infinity to r. So, that is equal to Gmm. Then this minus comes here, then within the bracket 1 by x, that is infinity to r, that is equal to minus G capital M small m, then apply the that is the limit, that is 1 by r minus 1 by infinity, then 1 by infinity is 0. So we will get the work done, that is W equal to minus G capital M small m divided by R. So this is the work done in bringing the body from infinity to the point P, that is at a distance small r from the center of the earth. This work done is stored in the form of potential energy. It is represented by U, that is equal to minus G M divided by R. So this is the gravitational potential energy, U equal to minus G M by R. So here the negative sign indicates that potential energy is due to the gravitational attraction between the earth and the body. Okay, so when the body is brought from infinity, okay, when the body is brought from infinity to a distance r, okay, infinity to a distance r, then the work is done by the gravitational force of attraction. So this is the expression for the gravitational potential energy, that is once again U equal to minus G M by R. Clear? Escape velocity. Escape velocity is the minimum velocity with which a body must be projected vertically upwards in order that it may just escape the gravitational field of Earth. Or we can define it is the minimum velocity with which a body is projected so that it never returns to the earth. Okay. Expression for escape velocity. You consider earth as a sphere of mass capital M and radius r. So this is the radius and this is the center O. Then suppose a body of mass small m lies at a point P at a distance x from the center of the earth. Okay, this is the body of mass small m at P at a distance x from the center. The gravitational force of attraction on the body at P, okay, the gravitational force of attraction between the body at P and the earth, that is written as F equal to G capital M small m divided by x square, because the distance between the body and the earth is x. Suppose the body moves through a distance dx and it reaches the point Q, then the work done to move the body from P to Q through a distance dx is dw equal to F into dx. That we can note it as F equal to G capital M small m divided by x square into dx. So this work done is against the gravitational force of attraction. Then the total work done in moving the body from the surface of the earth, that time x equal to capital R. Okay, if the body is at the surface, then this x is equal to capital R. So from the surface, if the body is moving to the, that means it is moving beyond the gravitational field of the earth. So that time x equal to infinity. Clear? That is infinity. So once again, suppose the body is moving from the surface of the earth to infinity. So when the body is at the surface, x equal to R, then when the body is bringing to the infinity, the x equal to infinity. So that time the total work done, okay, total work done to move the body from the surface of the earth to infinity. So that time the gravitational force is varying. So we want to calculate the total work done. We should integrate the small work done. Okay, that is integral dw. So that is equal to integral, that is from where to where, that is r to infinity. This is same as the when you derive the gravitational potential energy, but there is one small change. Here the body is bringing from the surface to the infinity. So capital R to the infinity gmm divided by x square into dx. Then we can take the g capital M small m outside, then integral capital R to infinity, then x raised to minus 2 into dx, that is equal to gmm into, then here that is the, so that is x raised to minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1, that is x raised to minus 1 divided by minus 1, so we can write minus 1 by x within the limit R to infinity. Then apply the limit, that is g capital M small m, then take the minus sign outside. Okay, so we can write 1 by infinity minus 1 by r. Okay, that is upper limit minus lower limit. So we can write 1 by r. So that is equal to, okay, minus gm 1 by infinity, that is 0. So minus into minus plus. So we can write w equal to g capital M small m divided by r. So this is the work done in bringing the body from the surface of the earth to infinity. Then when it is moving like that, the energy possessed by the body is kinetic energy, because it is moving from the surface to the infinity. So the energy possessed by the body is the kinetic energy, and the velocity of the body is noted as the sk velocity. So we can write half m, okay, half this work done is stored in the form of kinetic energy. So half m into ve square, that is v is the sk velocity, that is equal to gm m divided by capital R. Therefore ve square equal to 2, then small m and small m we can cancel, 2g capital M divided by R, then ve equal to root of 2gm divided by r. So this is the sk velocity in terms of the gravitational constant g and the mass of the earth capital M and the radius of the earth capital R. Then already we studied that small g equal to, okay, small g equal to gm divided by r square. Then what is the gm here? Gm equal to g r square. So we can substitute here, that is v equal to root of 2 into g r square divided by r. So r and r will cancel. Then sk velocity v equal to root of 2g r. So this is the sk velocity of the body in bringing from the surface of the earth to the infinity. So this is the minimum velocity with which a body must be projected vertically upwards, or it just escape from the gravitational field of the earth. Okay, that is v equal to root of 2g capital R. Clear? When you substitute the value of g 9.8 meter per second square and radius of the earth 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter, then we get the sk velocity for the earth, that is v equal to 11.2 in kilometer. We can write 11.2 kilometer per second. So this is the sk velocity of the earth. Likewise, for the heavenly bodies, the sk velocity is different. So for the moon 2.3 kilometer per second, for Mercury 4.28 kilometer per second, and so on. So in this way sk velocity is different for different heavenly bodies. Okay. From the equation v equal to root of 2gm by r, we can understand that sk velocity does not depends on the mass of the body projected. It depends on the mass of the earth and the radius of the earth. Because of this reason, a planet will have atmosphere if the root mean square velocity of the atmospheric molecule is less than the sk velocity of the given planet, which means that the velocity of the molecules in the planet must be less than the sk velocity of that planet, then the planet will have the atmosphere. So the moon has no atmosphere. the molecules present in the moon. Okay, the velocity of the molecules present in the moon has greater velocity than its escape velocity. So, it escapes from the surface of the moon. So, the moon has no atmosphere. The escape velocity of the moon is 2.3 km per second. But the Jupiter has a thick atmosphere. The escape velocity of the Jupiter is 60 km per second. So, the molecules present in the Jupiter has less velocity than its escape velocity. Even the lightest hydrogen cannot escape from its surface. It has the less velocity than its escape velocity. Okay. Orbital velocity. It is the velocity required to put the satellite into its orbit around the Earth. So here you are considering a satellite of mass small m orbiting around the Earth with a velocity v0, and h is the height of the satellite above the Earth's surface. This is the h. Okay, height of the satellite above the Earth. So the orbital radius is r plus h. So this distance is r, then h. So total distance, that is the orbital radius, that is the r plus h. Then according to the law of gravitation, the force of gravity on the satellite is F equal to, how can we write F equal to G into capital M, that is mass of the Earth, into mass of the satellite divided by orbital radius the whole square, that is r plus h the whole square. That is equation number 1. Then the centripetal force, here the satellite is revolving around the Earth in a circular orbit. So the centripetal force required by the satellite to keep it in its orbit, that is F equal to. Generally the formula for the centripetal force is mv square by r. So here m v0 square divided by r plus h, that is equation number 2. Then in the equilibrium position, these two equations are equal. So we can write m v0 square divided by r plus h equal to g capital M small m divided by r plus h the whole square. There m and m we can cancel, then r plus h and 1 r plus h we can cancel. Then what is remaining here? That is v0 square equal to g capital M divided by r plus h. So orbital velocity v0, okay, orbital velocity v0 equal to root of g capital M divided by r plus h. This is the equation for the orbital velocity in terms of the mass of the Earth and the orbital radius r plus h. Then if g is the acceleration due to gravity on the Earth's surface, then small g equal to capital G m divided by r square. So gm equal to g r square. We can substitute gm equal to g r square. Therefore, we can write the orbital velocity v0 equal to root of g r square divided by r plus h. So in the root we can take the r outside, okay, that is root of r square equal to r. So r equal to, again we can write it in the root, that is g by r plus h. So this is the orbital velocity in terms of the acceleration due to gravity g. Then when the satellite revolves close to the surface of the Earth, okay, when the satellite is revolving close to the surface of the Earth, that time what is the value of this h? H equal to 0. Okay, we can write h equal to 0. Then the orbital velocity v0 equal to h equal to 0, then root of g by r. So here we can write root r equal to root r into root r. So one root r will cancel, then we can get v0 equal to root of g r. So this is the orbital velocity of the satellite when it is very close to the Earth, v0 equal to root of g r. So some important points related to this orbital velocity is, it is independent. From the equation we can see that the orbital velocity is independent of the mass of the satellite. Here we noted the mass of the satellite is smaller. So here we can understand that orbital velocity is independent of the mass of the satellite. And the orbital velocity decreases with the increase in the radius of the orbit and with the increase in the height of the satellite. That is, V0 is inversely proportional to r plus h. And the orbital velocity V0 depends on the mass and radius of the planet about which the satellite revolves. Okay, once again, V0 depends on mass and radius of the planet. Okay, radius of the planet about which the satellite revolves. When it is very close to there, then V0 equal to root of gr. Okay, clear? So what is the relation between this orbital velocity and the escape velocity? So you know that escape velocity Ve equal to root of 2g capital R and the orbital velocity V0 equal to root of gr. So when you take the ratio of these two, Ve divided by V0, that is equal to root of 2gr divided by root of gr, that is equal to root 2. So we can write the escape velocity Ve equal to root 2 V0. This is the relation between orbital velocity and the escape velocity. That is, escape velocity of a body from the Earth's surface is root 2 times its velocity in a circular orbit just above the Earth's surface. Clear?